No, I think my point is that I don't think that is a good reason for the Pope not to return my phone calls.
I don't know.
That's all I'm saying. Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Laugh and Be Blessed with your hosts, Jake and Chia Thruple. I'm happy to be here. Chia, not so much.
I'm just very confused as to where that conversation came from.
Well, we were having a full-blown conversation before it started recording.
Okay.
I think it's extremely obvious that's what that was.
You're right.
It's not like I'm just throwing out random things to say at the beginning of a podcast to see what your reply will be. So, I'm happy to be here. Chia, why are you not happy to be here?
I'm happy to be here.
No, you're not.
I am.
It's written all over you that you're frustrated, you're irritable.
Oh, I'm all those things.
This is going to be the one. This will be the podcast we fight on the podcast, and I don't delete it.
We're not gonna fight.
Don't do a fake sweet voice. We're not. We're not gonna fight.
No, we're not gonna fight because as long as we can hold it together for like the next couple hours, I'm getting ready to go to work, and then we won't fight.
So it's me. You're just sick of being around me.
It's not you.
You're just sick of being around me. Why do you turn away from the mic to talk?
I don't know. Do you want me to get up close and personal?
I just want you to look at me.
I'm uncomfortable. I don't have enough room here.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know.
What do you want?
Realize your wife's a little larger than you think she is.
You're tiny and petite and wonderful and neat.
You're so
I like everything about you. I like everything about you. You know what I don't like about you?
What?
Your stupid attitude.
I don't have
Fix it.
an attitude towards you.
You do, though. You don't realize it's towards me.
No, but it's
if you have an attitude and I'm the only one in the room, I don't know where the attitude is going.
It's towards the universe.
But I'm part of the universe, man.
Oh, man.
And it comes out and it hits me directly in the mouth.
Then just be a more positive entity in my life and maybe I'll be different.
So you're saying that because I'm so negative, you are having a bad time.
There it goes.
Oh, that's what you're saying to me? Oh my goodness.
No, everyone's going to be like, oh God, what happened? Like, I'm not mad at you.
No, I don't want, I guess I'm being mean. I'm making it seem like something more is going on.
I do have attitude.
Well, that's pre-period attitude.
I'm hormonal.
Yeah, it's pre-period attitude. I have it whenever I'm about to be on my period. Why don't
Do you
more
think
people
we're a
talk?
little too honest with people on this?
I don't care. They don't have to listen to it.
That's true.
If they don't like it, that's fine.
They don't.
This podcast is for me and you to have a conversation, and it's real. And if they don't like the real stuff, then that's fine. Do you think more people should talk about the fact that men have periods?
Yes.
Don't you think it's weird that it's not... I'm sure people are like, well, not listening to this podcast anymore. Men don't have periods, but men do have a change in their hormones.
Yes.
That I did not know that scientifically that is a fact until just a couple years ago.
Yep.
That's weird.
I feel like the male hormonal cycle is a little longer than the female. Now I have to look it up because ours is a 28-day thing.
I don't know. I think it has to do with like tides and stuff like that with men.
Yeah. That would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know where this came from. We're having that conversation now. It's that's the fun thing about laughing and being blessed. Is sometimes we're talking about a curse, and that's what it is. It's just a curse. And Chia's doing research on it now. She's just trying to figure it out. No, it's fine. It's fine. It's not.
You know I do this.
Yeah, and it's okay.
I Google it.
Well, that's fine because then you Google it, and then the listeners can know the facts and science behind it, and that's what we're here to do. We're here to be scientists mostly. That's all that we really care about is science. This is the #1 science podcast available anywhere. Actually, not a lot of people know this. This is the only scientific podcast. There's no other ones out there. None of them. Like you can look up science podcast, you won't find one. This is the only one. So just stick around and tell your friends in the science community.
I'm sure if I read more, there's a time frame, but I don't feel like doing that.
Oh, so you just wasted all that time.
I mean, you did. You could have been talking about something a little bit better, but...
You know what else? You know what is better? You know what is better than what we were just talking about?
Me.
Shows that I have coming up. If anybody wants to see me, I am doing some shows. Actually, this Thursday, March 18th, I'm going to be doing some new material at the Comedy Addicts Open Mic.
Ooh,
so,
nice.
I've not done their open mic in a long time.
Hot minute.
A hot
Probably since this summer, right?
October, I think. September or October was the last time I was there.
Wow.
So I'm really, really happy. I went last week. I went last Thursday just to kind of
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, just to be there, and I wanted to see my friends and stuff. And I kind of wanted to go be around and be a part of it before I went just to go up on stage. Don't put your hair down whenever we're doing a podcast. You know what that does to me. So I went to the Comedy Attic, and I watched some of my friends do the open mic, and I love being there. I really do. It's just like now that I'm a part of the local comedy community, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. It's just nice to be, especially since I haven't seen some of those friends for a while. It's just nice to be there and being around them. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just like them. I was just happy. Nice. Grant Volkmar was hosting, and Grant's a very good friend of mine. I was happy to see him hosting, and he did a great job. And there were some new people that were there, and there's some regulars that were there. It was just a really good time. So I'm excited this Thursday, March 18th, to be at the Comedy Attic to do some new material. And it's going to be some about Chia, about our arguments. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, you think that a couple can be more than two, and that's ridiculous.
Gosh.
So I'm going to talk about that. And then...
what's a few?
A few is 3 or 4.
Okay. Well, I had a patient the other day, and I said something about, like, in a few, I'll be off in a few hours or something. He said, oh, so like 2, and I said, no, about 3.5, 4. So, right. I'm not the only person who hears a few and thinks 2.
Well, it's okay because you work at a hospital, and they had a brain injury. So that's fine. That's probably what it was.
No.
And you're not helping your case.
No.
A couple is 2.
Okay.
A few is 3 or 4. And
maybe
5.
On.
A few could also be 5. Several is like 5 to 7.
If I mean 2, I'll say a couple. If I mean 3, I'll say in a thruple.
A thruple?
Yeah, that's a thing. So
no, it's not. You just made that up.
No, it's not. A thruple?
Yeah, is that where there's like polyamorous?
Yes.
Where it's see, that's my thing. That's
your thing was a couple, because me and you are a couple, so we're 2. So if I say a thruple, you'll know I mean 3, because a thruple is
my point behind this is that I think that you say a couple can be 3 because you want a polyamorous relationship.
No.
I think you would like to bring. I don't know what you're looking for though. I don't know. So sometimes somebody's getting real out there. Maybe I just upset someone. They heard that and they're like, that's not true. So that's my point, is that I don't know. I think that you are trying to get us into something that maybe we've just been together too long and you're ready to spice it up a little bit. And you're like, a couple can be 3, Jake. And I'm like,
honey,
you
you're
know what?
all the spice I need.
Yeah, I don't know how to say that. You know where else I'm going to be at? I'm going to be March 26th. I will be at Gutty's Comedy Club in Greenwood, Indiana, doing the Stand Up for Sobriety show. Rob Wilfong is putting the show on. I'm happy to be there. I don't remember who else is on the show, but I'm excited. It's going to be fun. And then March 27th, the next day, I will be at Carson's Brewery. It's okay.
You good?
Yeah, that's okay. I needed a drink. I'll be at Carson's Brewery in Evansville. I know. I didn't drink. Can I do the thing?
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I appreciate the drink. I'm glad that you brought me the drink. I'll drink it when I can. Some of us have to talk because other people are just looking up when male periods are and then never telling us.
I wonder why I have an attitude.
Carson's Brewery in Evansville, Indiana, March 27th. That's going to be a fun show. Grant Volkmar's coming with me. Emmanuel T. will also be there. And some other people that are really, really funny. But those 2 are coming, riding down with me. So
nice.
Are you going with me to that?
Oh, God.
I think it's a Saturday. I don't know.
I think
you don't have to. I mean, Grant and Emmanuel are going to be with me.
If you would prefer not to have me there.
That's not what I meant.
No,
that's not what I meant.
I heard.
It's not what you heard. It's what you're hearing.
But that's what, like...
It's what you're hearing.
I would like to go with you.
All right. Cool. And then this is a new show that just popped up. I'm excited about this show.
Yeah.
My buddy Dusty Slay is coming to Bloomington, Indiana. He's going to be at the Comedy Attic April 9th and 10th.
Nice.
And I'm going to do a little guest spot. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
He said, "Hey, you wanted to? What do you think?" And I said, "Hey, what do you think?" And he said, "Yeah."
Where's it at?
Oh, that's at the Comedy Attic
Okay.
in Bloomington, Indiana.
Okay.
Why don't you go ahead and, if you're listening, let's go get those tickets right now, because that's going to sell out.
That will sell out, yes.
I know of a bunch of people who have already...
my tickets.
Yeah. I know of a bunch of people who have already gotten their tickets, so that's going to be
There's a
so
chance
fun.
I could go up and be like, hey, I'm married to one of the comics, and they'd be like, all right, but I don't think so.
Probably not, because it's going to sell out, and they'll just be like, what's... So they're like, well, I guess you can wait outside.
Lady.
Yeah, maybe you should have got it. So that's what's coming up, and like I said, I'm glad that there's shows happening. Mm-hmm. People are getting vaccinated, and things are happening, and it's starting to feel kind of normal again. So that's fun. That's
I like
fun.
It.
Let's move on to reading.
Okay.
Do you want to? Okay, read this. Just on the air. Just read it.
Okay. What am I reading?
Just read it.
What?
I know. I wanted to see if
you were
you
gonna mouth something to me, like I had to read your lips.
Oh no. I finished my book Steppe.
Ah.
Yeah. I was gonna have it out here that way I could look at it while I talked, but
No, you're an idiot.
I don't even know where it is. I just threw it away. I was like, I'm done, and just threw it. I just tossed it across the room.
So what are you gonna read next?
I'm back. I'm back.
I'm back.
I'm back in the Stephen King universe. I'm trying to finish my...
Guess who's back?
I'm trying to finish Dark Tower Book 4.
How many books are in that series? I always ask you this.
I think 7.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about Steppe real quick, though. Oh, I see. It's right there. So Steppe is...
I see it over there.
Steppe was cool, but I feel like at the end of the book... spoilers for anyone who doesn't want to know about a book that came out in England in 1970. So, I don't know. I feel like it was really, really cool. It was a great... it's kind of crazy that I read that. It's above Ender's Shadow. It's kind of crazy that I read that book after reading Ready Player Two, because it's so much alike.
Really?
Yeah, really weird. Really weird. I didn't think it was going to be. So basically, I read a little bit about the book after I was finished. So the book was written by some guy. His name's Anthony, I think. Not important. It's because I gave the book 3 stars, 3 out of 5. It was readable. But it was a great idea, though. I would like to see this movie fleshed out, because the guy who wrote the book loves history, and he wanted to write like a book about history, about like Genghis Khan, but no one wanted to read it. They were just like, it's boring. So he's like, well, what if I make it fun and make it like science fiction-y? So the book is about, in the future, there's a game that everyone plays that's almost like VR. It feels like it, but it's real. It's like reality. You actually go into this game. So you go, like half the planet is the game. And then there's spaceships and stuff, so you fly to other planets for other parts of the game. So like if you are in, let's say you're part of the Steppe, which is what this guy's a part of, and you want to invade China, well, you fly to a different planet, and that planet has the game of China there, and you invade the planet. You invade China that way, and they call their spaceships horses and stuff, and they're very nomadic in the way that they do everything, but with like laser swords and laser bows. So it's really, really cool. It's a very cool concept, because basically what happens in the book is that the people who play the game try to rig the game, so they go back in time. They have a time machine, they go back, and they bring this guy who's like a chief into the future so they can question him about the game. But then he freaks out and like breaks loose from him and enters the game himself, because it's basically that's the only way he can get back, quote unquote, home. But like every day, one day in the game is a year, or one day in real life is a year in the game. So every day that he's there, that's a full year. Like every day is summer and every night is winter, pretty much. It's a really, really unique book. It was really cool. The issue that I have with it is that the ending, it was just kind of like the last 3 chapters. I felt like he just rushed through it really quick. It was like, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then he's married, and then bye. And I was like, gee, I was like, what the heck, dude? So I don't know if his publishers made him like, if they were just like, no one's going to read a long book, so you need to edit this down to so many pages. But it was neat. It was a neat book for sure. It was just kind of like, it was like very anticlimactic at the end. I felt like it was building up to something that ultimately just didn't happen.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked because I really thought that there was going to be like this huge fight from him and everything.
I kind of felt about, even though it was a great book, about the Underground Railroad. Like, it's obviously like, if you don't know that the book is about a slave trying to run away, you might want to read some history. So I don't feel like I'm giving any spoilers out. So you're tracking this woman, the slave's progression through being a runaway. Mm-hmm. And the end just didn't give me what I was hoping for. Right. Which, I mean, yes, I know that when slaves are freed, their lives didn't automatically get better. But it was also, I mean, they got better, but not like, it was like this magical thing where everyone was equal, you know. They African Americans still had quite a long climb to go and are still facing challenges today. But it was still fiction, so I kind of wanted it like, come on, you're fiction. I just want to find out that, like, she's got this big, huge farm, and she has all these people that work for her, and she's got a big family. Right. And that's not what... I didn't like that. I just want to be like, oh, she's an important person in her town. I feel like, I bet it's hard to write a book that is historical fiction because you have to make sure that you're at least wrapping it up in like the right way and not being too far-fetched with everything. Like, honestly, the only fictional thing about it was probably the characters themselves. Yeah. But everything going on was stuff that was literally going on at that time. Yeah. So, no, they couldn't give me the ending that I wanted because that wasn't true to history. Sure. Yeah. I mean, that definitely makes sense. I got a book in the mail that I'm excited about. I got the second... book in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's called The Restaurant at the End of the Universe. Nice. That'll be my next one. I'll read that one after I'm done. Hopefully I can finish this Stephen King book. You think you'll finish it this round? What page are you on? Like 400. I'm excited. Out of what? Probably 1,000. I do like what's happening now, though. Yeah. Like, since I took a break and I jumped back into it, I'm like, okay. That was probably a good idea. It's almost like I just needed a little bit of fresh air, and now I can just jump back into it. So. Well, I'm still reading Ready Player 2, but I, over the past, like, 3 or 4 days, have, especially last night, really, really gotten into it. And I'm getting ready to have a 5-night stretch off after Tuesday. And I'll definitely finish it. And I also can see it's the kids' spring break. I think we'll finish the first Harry Potter book. So hopefully start on the second one. I did not get to start my Women's History Month book, the one about Florence Nightingale, because I was going to go to the library the other day when after I dropped the kids off at school. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't open until 11. But I had to work that night. Yeah, so that's not worth waiting. If it was at 10, I could have come home for a little bit and then go back. Right, but it's just not worth it to have that extra hour. At 11, I should be asleep by then. So, but that's okay. I'll go get this. I'll go look for it this week, and I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the month. I don't know how big of a book it is, so I might be, yet again, a bad woman. No, you're not. Come on. I'm so awful at being a girl. No. You're not. You're great at being a girl. Thanks, man. What's that even mean? Exactly. You're just a person. We're all just people just trying to make things happen. That's true. That's them labels again getting you. Here's something kind of cool. We love books, obviously. People know that. Stop it. Do we? Shut the front door. Is that a spoiler? I guess I shouldn't have said. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have. Just fast forward. We, every now and then, people come into our lives that are really, really cool people. Yes, they are. And Chia has a couple of really cool friends. Yeah. A few of them. A lot of them. Well, do I have a couple or a few? You have a couple of really cool friends and a few cool friends. Okay. You're such an a-hole. So... They're not. I was like, I'm looking for them. I'm like, what is happening? I'll go get them. Okay. So Chia texted me the other night while she was at work, and she sent me a picture because we got a little gift basket. And this is
So here's what's funny. So you got 2 separate ones, right?
I did.
So she got one gift basket from one friend one night, and then like 2 nights later, she sends me another text that a different friend gave a little gift basket. Now, did they listen to the podcast?
One of them, yes. The other one sometimes, but so my friend Katie brought me 2 books called one's Magicians Impossible.
No, we're talking about Katie with a C.
Katie with a C, yeah. Magicians Impossible, and then Paradox Bound. They're both fiction books. I'm excited to get into them. Of course,
the Magicians.
Another long list of books I've got to read.
The Magicians Impossible book looks kind of cool.
This is the person who told us about Litzy.
Oh, cool.
So,
okay, yeah.
So she gave me those, and then she gave me a couple different types of tea and told me how to make a really nice drink, but we haven't done it yet because
we just haven't had time.
I've been so busy. So I'm excited to do that whenever I have this nice little stretch of days off.
Yeah, also our room is just full of clean clothes right now. And I did them. I folded.
It doesn't take long.
No, I folded all the laundry. I put all the laundry away. And then you were like, thanks for catching me up. I'll take care of it. And I was like, okay, right on. Well, I'll do what I can. And then you were like, psych.
Did you know that there's like these magical people out there that practice some form of witchcraft? I really don't know what it involves, but every time the laundry comes down the dryer,
they fold it
they
in.
immediately fold it, hang and put away. And
I don't
know what spell you do to be that kind of person.
I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
I don't know.
People that can do that, people that fold laundry automatically, freak me out.
I feel like they must
have their life together. They're so happy. They probably just they probably have well-balanced meals.
For them. You're such a hater, geez.
Yeah. They're out here making me look bad.
I mean, if we didn't tell anyone this is what our room looked like,
our room is so
know.
clean right now. That's the thing about it, is that there's no clothes. They're all put away.
If people come over, and me and Jake are weird. Our bedroom's like a second living room, so when...
We're not weird. I built our room like this on purpose.
I know. But you built it like this because we are these type of people. We'll have our friends over in our bedroom, and we have like chairs in here.
Yeah, Chia prefers that. She calls it a couple.
Thruple.
She's like, let's get a thruple going on in this room.
Stop it.
All right, go ahead.
That's what you say. That's why you want Steve to come over, and I'm like,
look,
I'll
Steve.
go right
I
out
will
the
say
door.
this: me and Steve have been intimate longer than me and you have been intimate. That's all I'm saying.
I respect that.
Okay.
Anyway, so our friends will come over. So what we'll do, secrets out, is shove all the clothes we can into the baskets, and then we put them in the closet.
Yeah.
And then we'll like straighten up like the dresser, and we'll vacuum.
It depends on who it is. It depends on who it is. I do not do that for Chris. When Chris when Chris comes over, I'll move the clothes around so we can like sit comfortably in here and play video games.
I feel like you did that last time Steve came over too.
Probably. I'm probably just like, look, dude, you know me. I'm not in prison. Just be happy.
I'm not in prison.
Just be happy. So, yeah. I mean, I don't mind.
So my second goodie was...
what I was saying, though, is that when our room, like, I don't want to do the tea and do all that stuff she goes until the room's clean.
Yeah.
And we can, like, sit and relax comfortably.
Yeah. Which is why I said we'll do it this week, because I'll have a day to, like...
We'll see.
You stop that.
I'm just saying, we'll see.
I don't want your negativity.
Don't take it then.
Oh, bad juju. My friend Rachel... What night was that?
It doesn't matter.
Friday night. I can't keep track. I think it's Friday.
It was last week.
Stop by a few days. Friday night, she brought me 2 puzzles and a new game. It's a Game of Thrones, Hand of the King. We haven't got into it yet, so that's something else I want to do this week. But it looks like it can be like a nice little pocket game.
Yeah.
And
hopefully it's cool. I mean, it looks cool. I like Fantasy Flight, and that's who makes that game, so I appreciate that.
She gave me a really cool Planet Earth puzzle. It's 500 pieces. I'm excited about that.
I was going to say, the puzzles I'm so stoked about.
And the other one is a 1,000-piece puzzle, and it is dog books. So it's just a cover of books about dogs.
It's like she knows us.
So I know.
Dogs and books.
Yeah. Like the Hound of Baskervilles. I probably
You
said
don't
that
have to.
wrong.
Well, you don't have to say what the books are.
Well, but
Is
what
Clifford
if
on there?
Big Red.
So
I
that's
don't know. Maybe that was based on it.
maybe. I don't know.
Now I want to find out.
All right. Well, so we're gonna be doing puzzles, and that kind of brings me into the part of the show where we usually talk about what we've been playing, what games we've been playing.
Okay.
We've not really been playing
No.
board games very much. We're definitely going to get into these puzzles, and we are going to play some board games this week since Chia's off. But she's been working like a long stretch here lately, so we just haven't had the time. But last week I talked about wanting to play more video games, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. Now my work has kind of suffered because of it. I'm a little bit behind.
I was gonna say, did you get those articles done?
No, but that was mostly because of like the shows that I went and did, like Gun to the Comedy Attic and stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's the majority of the reason why I couldn't do those. Sure. But I did talk to my editor, and he said it's no problem. So
Okay.
I'll get them to him tonight. I have 1.5 out of 4 done.
Oh my word.
I'll finish them tonight.
Sure.
But I did start playing some video games again, which was great. I started playing. Man, I tried to play the God of War game for the second time. The one on the PS4 that came out a few years ago. I want to get into that game so bad. But, like, big games like that, I just can't get into anymore for some reason. I used to love playing, like, Fallout and Skyrim and all that stuff. But I just can't really get pulled into a game like that yet. But I know once I can, it's going to be great. So I tried to play that for a little bit, and I just kept dying. And I was like, I'm not going to, like, play a game where I'm just getting frustrated. I don't want to do that. So I shut that off and I started playing Farcry Primal. Have you heard of this game? Oh, you're just a caveman. You're just a caveman, and I'm out there killing cheetahs, and I'm making bows and spears and stuff. It's fun. So I played that for a little bit, and then today, so Xbox bought Bethesda, did I say that right? It doesn't matter. Game company. So they own, now Xbox owns like all the Fallouts, Skyrim, all the Doom games. And Doom is a game I used to play a lot whenever I was younger. And all of them are available on Xbox Game Pass now.
Oh.
So this morning whenever I woke up, I downloaded all the Doom games and beat the first one while you were sleeping. I just played through it and beat it. I didn't get all the secrets, but I beat the game.
Oh, so you didn't 100% it.
No, but I beat it. Don't see, you're a snob when it comes to that. Look, Chris says it's okay that I don't get all the rings in Sonic.
Chris says that.
Chris said he still likes me. He said I'm his best friend because I don't have to get all the rings in Sonic or all the coins in Mario.
Good for Chris and you.
You should just be a little bit more.
I don't know about Sonic because I was a Sega girl, but you do realize the more coins you get in Mario, the more men you get.
Okay, first of all, you have to understand something.
Or the
I don't need all those.
It might
I
be
don't need all
extra star. Like
I don't need
Mario
all those
64.
one-ups. I don't need all those one-ups. I don't need all that stuff.
64, it's an extra star.
I don't need it all.
Coins.
I don't need all that jazz.
Okay.
You know? I'm just doing my thing.
Good for you.
I want to play a Switch game tonight though, I think.
Do it.
I don't know what I'm going to play. Maybe Spyro. I don't know.
Spyro's a good one. You got to get all the gems.
Okay, anyways, so we just started a new show. That's an old show.
Yeah.
So
new to us, old to everyone else.
I've been doing this thing since, so I'm not getting into the whole reading books based off for the Women's Appreciation Month, but I am doing shows that center around a female lead.
Yeah.
So I just watched.
We finished WandaVision.
WandaVision. Then I just watched the entire run, which is only 19 episodes. It's just one season, which sucks.
Yeah.
Of My So-Called Life. I don't care what anyone says about me. You can make fun of me all you want.
I love you.
I love that show.
Yeah.
I watched it when it was on.
I'm so glad you love it.
Are you though?
I am glad you love it.
I'm
happy you're happy.
Look, I can't get enough Jared Leto. Do you want to get real about this?
I thought it was all about Claire Danes.
No, it's about Jordan Catalano, okay? The show's about It's about Angela Chase. But you watch it for Jordan Catalano, all right? And a little bit of Rayanne Graff.
No, not her.
You don't like Rayanne at all.
No.
Why?
Because she's a hot mess, but she thinks it's cool to be a hot mess.
Yeah, man.
She doesn't want to try to better her life at all.
Look, it's Amber's fault, and you don't even get it. It's Amber's fault, and you don't care.
I know I'm a hot mess, and I'm okay with that because every day I strive to be better. I'm not like okay because I'm like, yeah, I like.
She had 33 days sober, and you don't even care.
33 days.
Yeah, that's pretty good for her. Okay, you don't even care.
I'm sorry.
No, it's pathetic. All right, it's pathetic.
Moving on.
I love Jordan Catalano. That's all I'm saying. It was a great show.
And for you out there who maybe didn't piece the Jared Leto thing with Jordan Catalano, and you haven't seen this, I know Jordan is a guy and a girl's name, but in this show, it is a guy's name. It's Jared Leto. My husband loves Jared Leto.
Big fan. Big fan. I think he's top 5.
Oh.
Yeah, I think after watching that show, I was just like, you know what? I like Jared Leto.
He's pretty dreamy in it.
Well, I'm not saying top 5 guys that I'd like to kiss open mouth. I'm saying top 5 actors.
Okay.
But I have a weird list of actors.
Yeah.
My list usually does not have the best actors. It's just the people that I like the best. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's the greatest actor. He's just one of my favorite ones to watch. That show that we watched, The Little Things, he was great in that.
Yeah.
He was fantastic in that. Dallas Buyers Club? You kidding me? Nailed it.
Yeah.
And I know people hated him as the Joker in Suicide Squad.
That was great.
Well, he was good for the version of Joker that they wanted him to play. He was playing a specific Joker from the comic books.
Yeah.
That was a rewritten Joker. It wasn't the old school Joker. It wasn't a classic one. And he did a good job. Yeah. He played it the way that he was supposed to.
He did.
So
he was spot
I don't care. I don't care what
great.
anybody says. I like Jared Leto. And he's a musician. He does 30 Seconds to Mars. He's the lead singer of 30 Seconds to Mars.
Well, there you go.
So,
What's the other show?
And then
Mars.
So then we went from Chia finished watching that show with me. Mm-hmm. She didn't start it, but she finished it. And then we started watching Veronica Mars.
Things, but I finish them.
Calm down. Veronica Mars is a show I've never seen before, but I've always kind of wanted to, but for whatever reason I just never watched it. Mm-hmm. So we're on like the 7th or 8th episode of that now. I like it.
The majority of which we watched last night until Jake went down on me and fell asleep early.
5 in the morning, Chia. I'm allowed to go to sleep at 5 o'clock in the morning.
10.
I don't care. That's your normalness now, though. So Veronica Mars is a really good show. If you've not seen it, check it out. It's really good.
I like it.
I feel like it's aged well.
Don't tell us anything about it.
Yeah, we don't know anything about it, so don't you dare.
We're on the edge of our seats.
Don't you dare. And then I thought about watching Buffy after this.
No.
I'll probably watch Buffy while you're not here.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't know. I just want something.
Don't finish it.
Okay, so
You'll be disappointed.
I can't think of anything. We've not watched anything else really, have we?
No.
Okay. Well, that brings us to mental health check-in.
And now it's time for a mental health check-in with Chia and Jake. Or Jake and Chia, depending on who wants their name first.
I think it's okay that your name is first. I think that's fine. Thank you very much, Michael, for the bumpers, the music. I've said it before, but if you like the music of the podcast, you got to go check him out. EmbraceTheGrayPublishing.com. Check out his amazing music. This guy will be at a show with me as soon as things open back up, for sure. I'm going to have him come do a show with me. And I already have some stuff. I've already talked to a bar owner, and I have some stuff in line. We're just waiting for things to open up. So I'm excited about that. So mental health check-in. I'm killing it, Chia.
Are you?
I'm doing good. Yeah. I don't know if I should say that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe that's not the word to say.
Not the word to say.
I feel fantastic.
Good.
I feel very good.
Yeah.
I think the weather change and we've been a lot more organized with things. We eat dinner every night at a table like a family.
Oh my God.
I think that's helping me.
Do you?
I do.
I think consistency and routine is very important, and we're not notorious in this house for having that.
No.
We're not notorious in our family overall. Like, neither one of us came from families that did things on a consistent routine.
Yeah,
type
no,
way,
not
then-
really routine. So like we never really ate for the most part as a family. We always ate in front of the TV growing up, and not that there's anything wrong with that. I think that's fine. I mean, obviously I think it's fine. I'm in my mid-30s and just now was like maybe we should eat it as a family. The reason I decided to start doing that though is we live in a weird situation in our house to where again our bedroom's like a second living room. And my mother-in-law, it's not Chia's mother-in-law.
mom.
She's not my sister anymore. The
Jay,
paperwork's
stop. Don't say
final.
anymore.
Paperwork's final, and
You're so
it's fine.
stupid.
My mother-in-law lives with us, and she's got she's got a pretty small bedroom. So if we're always just taking over the living room, then she has to be in her small bedroom, and that kind of sucks. So we spend a lot of time in our room, since it's again like kind of a second living room, which means that she's in the living room a lot. Well, because of that, it's hard for us to like watch movies as a family or just like spend just regular hangout time as a family. So we'll go outside with the kids sometimes, but for the most part, like the kids just go outside and play, or they'll watch some TV in their room, or they'll come in here and watch TV with us. But the point is, sometimes it's nice just to like gather as a family in the main room, and we have a dining room table in there. We usually put on a record or something.
Yeah,
and
we don't have a dining room in this house.
We don't have a dining room.
So, but we have a large living room. That's why the dining room table's in there.
Yeah, it's like in the back of it. So that none of this is important or fun. I'm just trying to explain one reason.
In their head.
Yeah, I'm just explaining one reason why I feel like my mental health has improved.
Yes.
Because sometimes I feel like the worst dad.
Aww.
Most of the time I feel like I'm a real bad father.
Stop.
No, it's
You're
true.
Not.
I don't think I spend enough time
You're a
with my kids.
fantastic Dad.
Even though I'm always with them, sometimes I'm just like, am I spending quality time?
That's how you feel when you're the stay-at-home parent.
I'm just like, man, I just don't feel like I'm spending quality time with them.
You feel like every minute of every day is not quality time. This is just what I spend with them to take care of them. But it's different because when you're the working parent, because now I know because I'm the one who primarily works outside the home.
Mm-hmm.
When you do spend time with them, it's, I'm going to have this conversation with them, or I'm going to do this specific thing, and you set aside specific time, and it's a large amount of time. But you do that constantly. You just don't realize it, like how often you have little conversations with them throughout the day.
Yeah.
Or, you help them figure out a new show to watch or a new book to read or something.
I guess that's true
It's
because
just,
that
you
is
have
something.
A lot of little moments that are going to add up to the big moments that I'll get to spend with them.
I think that's a good point. Thank you for saying that because I didn't really think about that because a lot of times Jasmine will come in here and she's like, Dad, I just finished watching this show. What should I watch next? And then we'll sit down and we'll kind of like talk about all the different shows and we'll go through until she picks one. And the same thing with books. She wanted to read a new book and she's like, I need a good series, Dad. And she's like, I'm just kind of getting bored with my books because they're just getting too easy. And I said, well, I just finished reading a book that I think you might like. It's called HitchHikers Guide to the Galaxy. I said there was a few times that it made me laugh out loud. It's not as like hilarious as what a lot of people made it seem to me. So I didn't want to make it seem like it was the funniest book ever to her. So that way it'd be funnier. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
It's like I don't want her expectations to be up. So she's reading that now. So I mean, yeah, that was a good conversation. And Roman comes to me a bunch. A bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that he's definitely got our self-deprecating spirit.
Yeah,
To where he's always
poor
like,
guy.
oh man, this is going on. What did I do? And I'm like, dude, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes me feel better. How have you been?
I've been really, really good. I had a little bit of a setback there for a minute. Something changed at work, and it wasn't what I was expecting. And so I kind of had a bad attitude about it for a minute. But the changes happened. I had a really good first night of that change, and this is only going to happen for a few weeks. And then we'll make another change, but it's the one I'm expecting. So it's good. The weather is helping. Reading is helping. There for a minute, I think I started getting a slump again because I was between like my there's just something about having an actual book in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have, I read those silly little romance novels on my ebook, And I do love audiobooks, but it's totally different when I have a book in my hand. That's why for my Women's History Month book, I want to go to the library and get an actual physical book.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, I think I'm the same way. I love audiobooks, but whenever I finish an audiobook, I don't feel the same accomplishment that I do whenever I finish a physical book. Or even while I'm reading. You just don't get the same meditative feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, there's something about it. Another thing that's been helping me, I wasn't going to talk about this a lot, and we like briefly brought it up last week, but I think I've been doing it enough to where I can probably talk about it now.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going to the gym like 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Trying to. I did take a little bit of time off, unfortunately, but I'm back at it now. Man, just the feeling that you get of accomplishment from an hour and a half in the gym, and you just walk out feeling like that your body is running the way it's supposed to.
I've had a lot of people tell me that working out is so good for their mental health. I'm not ready to believe those people and try it.
I love it. I mean, I really do. I love the feeling whenever I'm done working out. And and the only reason I'm bringing it up right now is because I kind of want the podcast to hopefully hold me accountable.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't going to talk about it until I felt like there was a noticeable change in the way that I look.
Yeah.
And I'm getting most people that I run into now say something. They're just like, man, what have you been doing? And I'm just like, okay, now I can talk about it.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to, I don't know. It was one of those deals to where when I got fat, I didn't like tell people all the time, like, man, I've been eating a lot of Doritos. I think I'm going to, yeah, man, I've really been gaining this weight. I'm just excited to see where it goes. But then I would go around a bunch of my friends. They'd be like, you're getting pretty big, bud. Like, you've gained a lot of weight.
So that's what I want to bring up. I don't know, maybe men are just different, but why is it okay for people to constantly point out a man's weight, but everyone agrees pointing out a woman's weight is just awful? Like, no one would ever come up and pat my belly and say, oh, put on some pounds there. I don't know how many people did that to you.
Yeah.
I don't understand why this is okay.
Well, so I have 2 schools of thought on this.
Okay.
Number one, I agree with you. Because there are a lot of people that it does affect very, very negatively.
Well, yeah.
And, I mean, I've talked to a couple guys because I have friends that are pretty open with me. And they'll be like, man, I just, people would be bringing it up to me. And it really hurts my feelings. And I get that. Because, yeah, when people would bring it up to me, it would make me more self-conscious. And then I would be like, well, maybe I shouldn't wear this shirt anymore. Maybe I should wear baggier clothes or something. Mm-hmm. But it also, because it made me feel negative, caused me, I think that was a big reason why I started going to the gym. And I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay.
I mean, yes and no for you, because I think if it had just been the negative comments, like, you would have wanted to lose weight, but you want to push through. What really made you, I feel, it was your health, because your blood pressure was
that's true.
being high. So you had a conversation with your doctor, and your doctor confirmed that your weight was a problem. And that's the only person who should confirm whether or not your weight is or is not a problem.
I think there's a proper way of doing it too. If you're really close to somebody and they're unhealthy, I think it's okay. But it's the same way if you're really close to somebody and all of a sudden they're an alcoholic, it's just like, hey, dude, are you okay?
Yeah.
Is there something we want to talk about?
But like you said, there's a way to say it.
And the way not to say it is
someone in the belly and being like, oh, hey, what's up, Tubbs?
Yeah, which happened to me a lot, like a whole lot.
Yeah.
By family members.
Yes.
That was just like, oh, that's
And
you're not the. I would think
guys.
that you
women do it to you too. And
I felt like it was more women than men that did it to me.
What in the world? Because we don't. At least I've never been around women who have done that. The only time I've been around another woman who's really mentioned my weight was, I had someone one time talk about me wearing a specific thing. They're like, well, when you lose weight, which was rude. But at the same time, I had just had a baby, so maybe they were assuming that I was going to try to lose weight. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
So.
Well.
But they weren't calling me tubby or fat or anything.
Yeah. I don't know. And again, I just think that it goes back to like, I do think that a lot of times whenever people said that to me, they were self-conscious about what's going on in their life, and it almost made them feel better that somebody was bigger than them.
Weird to
It
me.
is to me too, because I like to see people succeed.
I do too.
And I'm more happy when I see somebody, like I have a couple friends who have been going to the gym and stuff, and it makes me happy to see them just looking healthy.
Yeah.
And I mean, they look better than me. And I'm like, good for you.
I do want to point out that when we say look healthy, we literally mean it. You can be a normal, what people would consider normal, not too thin, not too big, and still look unhealthy because you're not eating right, you're not working out.
Yeah.
We are talking about your overall appearance of your skin, your eye. You just look
healthy.
There is a difference when
we're
you
not,
are treating your body
sure.
right. Mentally
I still got a big
physically.
gut, you know, like,
but you look healthier.
And I feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my big thing, is that I really do feel good. And I don't care. I don't want to be like shredded. I mean, would it be cool? Yeah, I've never been like that. That'd be weird. Yeah. But I just want to be, I want to feel good. And it's making me feel good physically and mentally. So why wouldn't I do it? It's a win-win for me. The only thing that I don't like about it is I don't like going to the gym when there's people there. I'm not a pro. I don't know what I'm doing for the most part. I have a good app that's really helping me. I think it's called Fitbod. Yeah, it's just called Fitbod. And I do pay for a subscription for it. I don't know how much it is because it was important to us.
Yeah.
And it gives me a workout routine that I can kind of customize a little bit, but it lets me know exactly what to do. And that helps a lot. But there's just, like, sometimes I just kind of, like, walk around the gym, like, reading the machines, trying to figure out, like, oh, okay, well, that's what that does. And if I want to do that, that's what that does. And then you just see people that are there that you could just tell, like, they are just a gym rat. This is what they do. It's what they live for. They love it, which is fine. But I just feel weird sometimes because I'm like, man, I don't belong here.
I understand what you mean because it's literally how I felt when I walked into the tanning salon and went to spray tan. Like I'm in my 30s, which isn't that old, but when it comes to
it's pretty old, Chia.
When it comes to your personal appearance, and I've not been one who's really ever taken a lot of time on my personal appearance. I had kids young, and of course, anyone who has kids knows that sometimes our self-care kind of takes a back seat for a while. So I already felt like I was behind in the game because I've never really done a lot of self-care. And when I walked in, I was like, this girl is like in her early 20s. She's going to think I'm stupid for not knowing how a spray tan works or what to do when I'm in the booth. Oh my God, they were so nice there.
Everybody at the gym's nice to me too. Yeah,
they didn't talk down to me, and I don't know where I got this impression that they were gonna think I was just this old lady that didn't know what she was doing. And
I think we do that with a lot of things. I honestly, and we've talked about this before, I thought the Comedy Attic was going to be like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm an older guy that's just getting started. I'm not old, but I'm an older, like a lot of these guys that are getting started are like 18, 19 years old.
Yeah.
And then I'm coming in with a wife and kids and trying to, like, make a living.
Like, your material is so different than theirs.
Yeah, I'm going up and I'm talking about how my son wanted a werewolf costume for Christmas. You know what I mean? And it's just like, is this even going to be funny to people?
Where
it's funny to me.
Some of them are getting up and talking about a one-night stand because that's the time of their life they're in. They're in their early 20s.
Which is fine because that stuff works for, like, you know, their age group and stuff, too. Yeah, exactly.
It's just, it's weird whenever... Because sometimes you'll be with other comics who kind of have same life experiences as you.
You know, hold on. Let's hold this because this is gonna be the topic of the show.
Oh. Okay.
We're gonna talk about doing stuff. We're just hold on a second. Let me talk about Patreon real quick because mental health always leads into Patreon because these people help us with our mental health. I mean, they help us with our mental health. They help us with a lot of things. So we just want to say thank you to the blessed ones and Patreon. I should have the sheet in front of me. Okay, whatever. Shan, Fawn, Danielle, Rachel, Lindsay, Pam, Jared. Boom. I can do it from memory.
Look at that.
It's not even in front of me.
You're amazing.
I just lied and you just went along with it. Yeah, I just said that it's not even in front of me. And I just read it. Oh. I read it off of the thing.
I couldn't see. I can't read
words. I can't read words.
I can't read where it's at.
I can't read words.
I'm gonna punch you, I swear. I can't.
Thank you to our Patreon supporters. We love you very much. Thank you for what you do. If you would like to help support the podcast, patreon.com/laughandbeblessed. And that's all I'm going to say about that. So I love you very much. Thank you. Also,
you.
go to Facebook, Jake Rubel's Blessed Ones on Facebook, and join the group there. That way we could talk about, different topics of the show and things like that. It's still Jake Rubel's Blessed Ones instead of Jake and Chia Rubel's Blessed Ones.
Don't put my name on there.
I didn't think you wanted it. That's why it's not on there.
Don't.
So let's get into the topic of the show.
And now, time for Tots. The topic of the show.
All right, so here's the thing. Chia was supposed to come up with a topic this week.
I told you I probably wouldn't be able to.
But what'd I tell you yesterday? What'd I tell you yesterday?
Today.
You told me when we sat down to record. I said if you don't come up with one, not a big deal. Give me a heads up. Let me know ahead of time, and I'll try to come up with something.
I told you way ahead of time. I told you a week ago. Hey, I'll try.
No, stop. I said that your topic that you came up with last time was our most downloaded episode ever.
Yes.
It doubled our normal downloads.
Okay.
And you were like, oh, maybe I should do topics more. And I said, yeah, that's what I was saying. Every other week you come up with a topic, and it can be something completely different than what I would normally come up with.
I was there for this conversation.
And then you were, but they need to know. And then you're like, I'll try it again. And I said, cool, no pressure though. Let me know. No, I said, let me know.
No, you didn't say that. You said, cool, no pressure, but I'll go ahead and try to come up with something too. So I thought you were thinking of something this whole time.
Last night I said,
do
you have a topic? And you said, not yet. And I said, and you said that you were still thinking of one. So I said, that's cool. Let me know tomorrow if you can't think of one, and I'll come up with one before we record.
You should have already done it.
And we sat down. No. I have faith in you. I have faith in you.
Well,
and I trust you.
Lose it.
I'm losing my religion, and it's your fault. Because I worship Chia. All I'm saying is
you're an idiot.
That I had to come up with a topic right now. Mm-hmm. So the tots this week is about how old we are trying things, new things.
Trying new things.
Oh, and we're not old.
No.
We're not old by any means.
But we feel old.
We're in a weird place.
Try new things.
I think we're in a weird place age-wise because we're still young enough to hang out with some young people of age. Let's that sounded weird, but we're also old enough to where we could hang out with a more mature crowd.
Well, I was starting to kind of figure this out even a few years ago because I work at the hospital and I work with a lot of...
You do?
I do.
Oh, cool.
Shut the front door. And
watch it.
And I also went, to nursing school, and I went with a lot of people who were, and worked with a lot of people who are younger than me, and a lot of them, by 10 years or more. And I feel like they're all so much more mature than me. Like, when I work with a nurse who's 22, I'm like, oh, look, you got your life together. You're already a nurse, and now you're engaged, and you're going to get married in a year, and then you'll think about when to have babies, which is probably going to be 2 to 3 years after you get married, because you want to make sure your house is ready.
Ugh.
And I'm like...
We did not do that. Yeah, we did not do that.
I'll just be listening to him, I'm like, like, where were you when I needed some guidance in my life?
The issue is that we didn't want to listen.
No,
we thought we knew everything.
We did.
I feel like we did okay. I'm not upset with us.
No.
There's definitely a few things that I think I would change, but ultimately, the road got us here.
Yeah.
The things that I would change is housing issues. The trailer that I lived in with Steven, that means Steven and Josh Huber had.
Yeah.
I would have stayed there. And Brian Madden lived there for a second. Yeah. I would have stayed there.
We've talked about
We
this
should have kicked those guys
so
out. Not Steven.
Often. No.
Steven and Josh can stay.
Yeah.
Well, Josh, no, he can go too. He broke my guitar.
We've talked about this so often. So when me and Jake were dating, and then we went through a little bit of a breakup period, but it was super short. But when we were dating, he got this trailer right in the middle of town. It was 2-bedroom. It was decent size.
Yeah.
It wasn't the prettiest trailer, but it was his.
For my age, having my own place, that was pretty cool. And it was so cheap. It's like $140 a month or something.
So, he ended up moving out.
The issue is that my grandma owned the trailer.
Right.
So my uncle lived there. My grandma owned the trailer. My uncle lived there. He moved in with his girlfriend, and when he did, he was like, "Hey, why don't you just move into the trailer?" Because I was living right across the street from him with like 3 or 4 of my friends. Had moved out of that house and moved back home with my mom, and then he was moving out like just a month or 2 later, and was like, "Hey, just move into my place." So I talked with my grandma. Everything was cool. Moved into this trailer. And then, in order to help me make sure that I could pay rent, I moved in 2 of my friends, which meant that most of the time there was like 4 or 5 guys staying there.
Right.
And I didn't have a job at the time. The way that I made money was that I would gamble in the kitchen on the weekends. I would throw bones and roll some dice and take money from my friends. And then I would pay the rent that way. Or Steven and Josh definitely helped out with the rent. Again, I think it was only like $140 a month lot rent.
Yeah.
And then we just had to pay like utilities and stuff.
And
my grandma, though, here's the issue.
Okay.
My grandma decided that it was okay for my cousin and his friend to also move in. Mm-hmm. I don't have an issue with my cousin or anything like that. I didn't like who he hung out with very much.
Yeah.
2 completely different groups of people. Me and my friends, him and his friends. Mm-hmm. So when that happened, I was like, I don't want to live here.
Yeah, instead of putting up a fight or anything.
But I was already struggling with sobriety. Mm-hmm. And there was always parties going on there. Mm-hmm. People were drinking all the time, doing drugs. I was struggling already with my sobriety and thought it was probably best for me to leave because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I'm almost positive my cousin was still drinking at the time. Mm-hmm. And I know the people he was with was drinking constantly.
Yeah.
So it kind of worried me. I wanted to make sure I stayed sober. So we moved out of town.
Yeah.
Well, we moved back home.
You did.
Yeah, with my...
I'm still not living with you at this time. I'm still not quite 18. So that's what I was going to say. It was a few months before I turned 18. So that's what kind of sucks is maybe if it had happened like right when I moved in, I feel like, with the amount I worked, we could have convinced your grandma, hey, we can pay you more if it can just be ours.
Yeah.
And maybe, but I really don't know how your sobriety would have gone because I can be kind of, I don't know, ball buster, I guess, when I need to be. But it's harder when it's right in town. So what ended up happening is Jake moved back with his mom, and when I turned 18, I ended up moving in with them. And then we moved to a town. It wasn't too far away. It was like half an hour or more, 45 minutes from where all of our friends, but far enough where...
No one was showing up randomly at my house with booze. I wasn't going to... I went to like maybe 3 or 4 parties.
Yeah.
Which was big for me because I was partying like every weekend for sure. Sometimes through the week I was partying before we moved. So I think it all happened the way it should have.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice to stay if we stayed there. At that
point, like that was the best housing opportunity we had gotten as far as just on our own. Mm-hmm. When we got married, we lived in a broke down camper in his mom's backyard.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
No electricity. It leaked in half the camper.
Yeah. If we had any electricity, it's because we ran an extension cord from his mom's to a power strip and then plugged everything in there. I did. And then it had like a bedroom in the back and then the front.
You remember when my uncle took that camper and took all our crap?
So, hold on.
Man, that made me mad.
Hold on, because I have something to say about that too. So then... But if it rained, we had to get into the back bedroom, take the fitted sheet, and take it off the corners of the bed and pull everything that was on the bed off and move it to another room because it would rain back there. And then we had to get fans to dry it. And then that was the bigger bed. I'm doing quotes with the little quote signs with my fingers because it was not very big. So, anyways, we moved out. And we moved in with my sister at the time. That's where we lived. So I was slowly getting stuff out in the camper, but we had a lot of stuff that was more like keepsake or maybe we didn't use all the time. And I thought I had time.
There's a lot of movies in there too.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of movies.
Come to find out, I didn't have time because it was decided that someone else was going to get the camper, which was fine. But instead of saying, hey, we're going to come tomorrow, can you finish getting everything out today? They just went and got it.
No one told us.
My marriage certificate, the nice little one you get that you're supposed to be able to frame, not the actual official one, but the framed one.
Yeah.
I never seen again.
Yeah. So,
that was the thing.
maybe
I can't even remember anything else, but that was in there, and like it literally.
a lot of our stuff was in there. We had clothes in there. We had a lot of stuff. And later on, I seen relatives of mine wearing my clothes.
Stop it! I didn't know that.
Had a Jimi Hendrix shirt that later on I seen one of my, not even the uncle that got the camper, a different uncle was wearing that shirt. I seen cousins wearing some of my clothes.
Wow.
So what happened is that they took that camper and it was a free-for-all. They just thought it was free stuff, and they all went through and just basically took our stuff. So, you know, later on, my uncle made it up to me by being a really, really good guy, and and I love him, and I really, really miss him.
That works.
But at the time, I was very upset about that. I thought that was just real.
Need a heads up.
Yeah,
like,
that's it.
Again, I was working a lot. I worked 40 hours a week at Burger King, literally because that's all they would let me work, and I worked 2 to 10, which is odd hours. So it's not like I would be like, oh, I'm going to be off work in a few hours. So if you had just told me the day before, I would have taken care of it.
That is what it is. It just kind of sucks. But so I think that's one thing that I would change is our living arrangements.
Yeah.
And then I would not have let people live with us.
Oh, no.
That's another thing. I let somebody live with us whenever Chia was pregnant with Jasmine. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We just went through a couple miscarriages.
Yeah.
Our emotions are out of control right now.
Yeah.
We're living in a small 1-bedroom house.
Yeah.
Very, very small house. Like, it's the one that the shower was in the bedroom, the toilet was in the bedroom.
We literally let someone move into our living room.
We let someone move into the living room that had just, what it was is that he just got out of jail because he'd been drinking and driving, got arrested. He called me from jail and was like, I want to get sober. How'd you do it? I felt for the guy. I brought him home. As soon as he got out of jail, I brought him home. He slept on our couch. And I was like, okay, you know, this is a clean house. You can't drink here or anything. I'm sober. So this will be a good place for you to just kind of get back on your feet. The dude never gave us money.
Nope.
Would just
again, we can barely
we'd eat
survive.
he would eat our food. He did buy food sometimes, but he would eat our food, dirty our dishes, never do the dishes, never clean the house. Went and bought a brand new PS3. Didn't give us any money.
Brand new dog.
Got a brand new dog that tore the house up.
Not a dog like me and Jake get, like where we'll get an older dog from the shelter. Maybe it's $100.
No,
brand new puppy from the mall.
Yeah, from the pet store, and wasn't really training the dog. No. So then we just have a puppy in our house while we're about to have a baby, and it caused me and Chia to fight a lot.
We had our boxer. Yeah. Anyway, so it was already small.
We're fighting a lot, me and Chia. And one day I come home and he's gone. And I was like, "Oh, cool. He found it, he found another place to live." We were never a jerk to him or anything like that about, dude, get your stuff together. It was just more of like we would be passive aggressive, I feel like probably. So he moved out. Well, then he went and told people the reason he moved out was because it was too negative of an environment because me and my wife were fighting so much and he didn't want to be involved in that whenever we split up. So it was like, dude, you're the reason we were fighting. Like, I was just
sometimes there's people who I don't think they realize, like, if me and you are arguing, we are saving that person because really all that negative energy that's going on between me and you, we want to inflict on that person.
We're just not going to do that.
We know we're not going to physically harm each other. So we
will forgive each other quicker than this other situation.
But this other person, we're like, we could really hurt them. And if we did it together, this would be bad.
Years later, we patched up.
Now,
years later, me and that friend patched up our relationship. We're fine now.
And now me and Jake no longer take our negativity towards others on each other. We do put it on that person.
Yeah, we're very honest now. Well, and then we had, after that...
We were trying to be good
After
people.
that, we had another friend who's still, a very good friend of ours. He was in a very bad situation to where... He had just gotten out of prison. I'm big on bringing guys fresh out the joint in. A friend of mine, he just got out of prison, was living in his mom's house. A situation happened to where he had a roommate. The roommate left, but the roommate left his musical instruments in the house.
Mm-hmm.
So they were there for like almost a year.
Yeah.
This stuff was.
This is the biggest.
And it was like taking up like a lot of space. And my buddy tried to get a hold of that guy, his old roommate, a bunch, was just like, dude, where'd you go? Like, your stuff's still here. Come get it. The guy never showed up.
And he owed him rent.
So my friend asked me what to do. And I was like, dude, if it was me, I'd sell that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's what he did. He traded it for something else that he could make money off of. And then a week after he did that, I don't even know if it was a week, it might have just been a couple days, he got an email from his old roommate that was like, hey, dude, I'm so sorry I've not been around. I'm going to swing by tomorrow and pick up the stuff. So my buddy was freaked out because he's like, dude, now this guy's going to be mad at me. I left, and we're kids, we're young.
Yeah.
I think he's like 19, 20, something like that. Like, we're pretty young, so we don't know these situations very good. So my dude's just like, oh, that was, we got robbed. Like, that stuff got stolen. Sorry, man. I don't know what to do. So, and we just assumed that would be it. He would just be like, that sucks. Nope. The guy contacted the police and then got on Craigslist and seen his stuff being sold from the other person on Craigslist. So then was just like, okay, well, I'm going to track this down. So then my dude, all of a sudden the cops are coming around him and stuff. And again, he's not been out for but like a year. So my friend is asking me, like, what do you think I should do? Why are you getting ready already?
Because
You have an hour.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. It's 9:30.
I know, I'm leaving a little after 10.
You said 10:30.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
Anyways, my friend is like, I don't really know what to do. So I told him, I was like, dude, just be honest.
We have to be done by 9.
Okay, can I finish this?
Go for it. Go, baby. I'm loving it.
No, you're not. You're walking around, snapping stuff. Sit down.
God.
So I was like, dude, just be honest. At this point, let's just be straight up with him. So he comes to my house and tells the police to meet him at my house. That way he can be honest. He goes outside, he talks with them, and they arrested him.
Yeah.
They arrested him for getting rid of this stuff that was left in his house for almost a year. And the dude owed him money. Mm-hmm. They didn't care. They just arrested him and then kept him for months with no trial. I think it was like 6 months he sat in jail.
Yeah.
No trial or anything. So the guy finally gets out. Like, he does his time and everything. He goes to court. He gets out. He's on probation. And he doesn't have a place to stay now. Mm-hmm. So we were like, dude, just come. We felt horrible because we were like, just be honest. Mm-hmm. And I felt like all the advice I gave him was horrible. So I was like, dude, you can live with us. We feel bad. Yeah. So he moved in with us. And now this is like right when...
well, he had already lived with us the second time. Didn't he go to Mom's?
I don't remember. Anyways, I know he lived with us when we had Jasmine. Yeah. Because he was awesome. Yeah. He was he was so good to us. Like, because he lived with us, we had to go, to the hospital and everything. He helped get the house set up. Mm-hmm. Because I came home to get stuff set up while you were in the hospital, and he had done a bunch of it already. Mm-hmm. He had made sure the house was completely clean. He had moved stuff around, and he was just like, hey, I know you guys are starting a family. I'm going to find a place to live in. And I think that's when he maybe came and started staying with your mom. Mm. I don't remember exactly how it happened, but I just remember coming home and him just being like and that is one of the reasons why he'll forever be a close friend of mine. Mm-hmm. Because he could have just been like, yeah, I don't want to have anything to do with this. I'm just going to bounce. But he was like, no, man, this is I'm going to help you out. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to help you guys kind of get stuff started. And he was a good roommate. He wasn't a bad roommate. He was a good, I don't know how good he'd be now, but he was a good roommate. Then this ended up not being about us being old. This just ended up being a story of where we lived. Whatever. How poor we were. But like now we're in a position to where, again, like I'm doing this thing that most of the people that are my age that are doing comedy have been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. And I definitely feel weird sometimes whenever they're like, how long you been doing it? And I'm like, oh, going on 2-3 years. Mm-hmm. And they're like, what? Like, I've been doing it for 13 years. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know. I just started late. I don't know. Yeah.
That's like me with nursing. I just started late.
But I get along with all of them.
Yeah.
That's a nice thing. And that's what I was getting at is like, I think we're at a weird place in our age because the college kids that are coming in and doing it, even there, I see kids that are like 15 years old that are doing it. Mm-hmm. And they're coming in, I get along with them. Yeah. And then there's also the comics. Like I did a show with a guy a couple weeks ago. He's been a comedian for like 35, 40 years. Mm-hmm. And I got along with him great. I enjoyed doing that show with him. So I don't know. I just think like we're in this weird medium where we can kind of, and I think that it could be a negative thing. We could look at it very negatively and just be like, oh, I don't really fit in anywhere. But instead it's like, no, man, I just fit in everywhere. Mm-hmm. You know? You ready to wrap this up?
No, I'm
You're not participating. You're looking around the room going,
I am not.
You are.
No, I'm looking right into your eyeballs.
You can't even see them.
I can see them. Your sunglasses aren't that tinted.
No, I'll get darker ones.
Do it. I don't want to look at your stupid
Do you have
eyes.
anything else to say about this?
I don't have a lot to say.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up then because Chia's ready to go.
I have to go to work.
No, she's sick of it. She's done. She hates the podcast.
To go to work.
She said she hates all her listeners.
No, I don't.
She said that. She said she wrote it on this piece of paper.
You're a liar.
What's this piece of paper say? Oh my God! It says I hate all his listeners. What did you do?
This piece of paper says intro talk.
Okay, shut up. So thank you very much for listening to the Laugh and Be Blessed podcast. This was a shipwreck of an episode.
No, it wasn't.
It was a crash and burn, and I blame you.
Okay.
I'm going to blame you.
I'll take the blame. I don't care. I don't care.
Thank you for listening to the episode. We love you guys. Thank you for everything you do. Maybe don't leave a review this time. You know, usually I'm like, maybe leave a review. You don't have to.
Do it.
If you want to leave a good review, cool.
No, we'll take a bad one.
No. What? Why would you say that?
Because I enjoy criticism in all its forms.
Gosh.
How do I know how to improve if no one tells me what to improve?
Because when people look at reviews, they'll only look at the bad ones.
If you want to send me a message on Messenger and tell me how bad I did, that'll work.
No, now people are going to be like, I think Jake sucked. I think you were the best part of the episode. He talks too much and he's stupid. And he sounds like an idiot.
Again, if you want to leave me a tip, just message me.
So you want that. You want people to come at me. You want people to come at me through you.
I just want to know where the people stand.
You know, I don't know. I don't know what else to say.
I do.
What?
I just want everyone to laugh and be blessed.